It sounds absolutely wild to say this out loud, but in 2026, I am actually enjoying playing my PlayStation 3 way more than my PlayStation 5. This is not some kind of clickbait or a hot take just to get a reaction. It is the simple truth. When I look back at how I have spent my time over the last couple of months, I have genuinely been putting way more hours into gaming on the PS3 than on the PS5. You are watching TechVibes, and today we are diving deep into why this legacy console is winning my heart all over again. There are a ton of reasons why this is happening. One of the biggest factors is that I finally picked up a backwards-compatible PS3 model. I have been having the absolute time of my life replaying some of my favorite PS2 titles like the Dragon Ball Z series. I am currently right in the middle of replaying Budokai Tenkaichi 2. Let me tell you that soundtrack hits so much different when you are an adult. It is a total game changer for the vibes. But even when I am not diving into PS2 classics, it has been such a blast replaying the games that actually defined the PS3 generation. I am talking about absolute gems like Infamous and the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. There are honestly too many to even count. I want to share the 5 main reasons why I am loving the PS3 in 2026. First off, we have to talk about the complete lack of microtransactions. Now, this point does not apply to every single game, because the PS3 era was technically when microtransactions were first introduced. But for me, I have been getting really frustrated and annoyed at the current state of modern gaming. It feels like if a game is not a strictly exclusive single-player title, then pretty much every sports game or fighting game or multiplayer game is stuck behind a paywall. Or even worse, it is built on a pay-to-win structure. There is one example that really ticked me off recently. It was the release of the new WWE 2K26 game. I was actually pretty excited to check this one out. But I chose not to buy it because I found out that 2K put a massive amount of features and characters behind a battle pass. If you want to unlock that battle pass, you have to give 2K more of your hard-earned money. The kicker is that these are characters that were already unlocked for free in previous generations of these games. It is super frustrating because they just decided to add this extra cost in. And we all know 2K is notorious for doing this with their basketball games too. If you have ever created a My Player in the NBA 2K universe, then you already know how much of a brutal grind it is to get your player up to a level 99. If you do not want to participate in that endless grind, well, you can just give them $20 to $30 and level up instantly. It is a pure pay-to-win system, and it is just so exhausting. The worst part is that there is no real incentive for these gaming companies to fix their broken games. They know they can just continue to milk the consumer for everything they are worth because people want to level up those characters. Take a look at a game like Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero. They are constantly adding new DLC characters to that game. And as a consumer, you have to keep paying money just to access them. This is especially annoying to me because I have been replaying those old PS2 Dragon Ball Z games. In those titles, all of those characters were available to unlock straight from the jump. You simply had to play the game and grind it out to get them. Back in the day, it felt like gaming companies actually had to deliver a fully finished product to the consumer. Nowadays, I feel like when a game is released, they are only giving us about 50% of the actual game. Then they slowly drip feed the content that should have been there from day one. And of course, they make you pay extra for it. It is getting really expensive to live right now. Paying $70 for a brand new game is already a lot. But then having to pay an extra $50 or $60 just to fully complete the experience is just way too much money to spend on a single game. This is a systemic issue in the industry that does not have a quick fix. As a business model, milking the consumer for an extra $40 is just more viable than releasing a finished product for $70. That is why playing the PS3 is a breath of fresh air. Most of these games were shipped without relying on those greedy tactics. It is so refreshing to play a game and not be bombarded by prompts to buy packs or coins or VC just to upgrade a character. The second reason is the pure nostalgia for the system. I have talked before about why I love the PS3 so much in 2026. One of the best parts is just the nostalgia that people have for this specific generation of consoles. Part of the reason I am playing it so much is because it is fun reliving those childhood memories of playing these games for the very first time. I recently finished replaying the first Infamous game. Playing that again was awesome. The last time I touched it was back in 2012 when I was just a freshman in high school. To be honest, the game does show its age in terms of the graphics, but the gameplay and the story held up so incredibly well. Honestly, if that game was released today, it would probably beat out a lot of the modern titles hitting the shelves right now. I do not know if that says more about how great that game was or just the sad state of modern gaming. I have also been diving into Modern Warfare 2 and Dragon Ball Raging Blast 1 and 2, along with WWE 13. This has been a blast because for a lot of these titles, I actually could not afford them when I was a kid. Now I can finally experience them fully. Next, we have to talk about that sweet PS2 backwards compatibility. For the longest time, I was rocking a standard slim PS3 that I have had for years. But recently, I finally picked up a true backwards compatible model. For those of you who are curious, this is the CECHC model. That is the 60GB or 80GB version depending on your region. The seller I bought this from on eBay actually took the console apart and applied new thermal paste. I was more than happy to pay a little extra for that service. I definitely do not feel comfortable opening up a launch model PS3 and servicing it myself. Having this console has been a total game changer. Being able to play original PS2 discs on my PS3 is so convenient. It is really special because I can replay those Dragon Ball Z PS2 games that I have such fond memories of. I have been playing Infinite World and Budokai Tenkaichi 2. It is an absolute blast. I legitimately did not think I could have this much fun with these classics again. I do have an original PS2 console that I boot up occasionally, but my old PS2 controllers are really worn down and tired. Plus, the whole hassle of trying to plug a PS2 into a modern TV is a nightmare. You have to get an HDMI converter, and half the time the quality is just terrible. With the backwards compatible PS3, I can easily swap between PS3 and PS2 games just by switching the disc. The PS3 also gives you the option to play PS2 games in widescreen and add a smoothing effect. I always keep those settings on because it gives the games a more modern look, even though they are running on retro hardware. Plus, having a PS3 sitting next to a PS5 means I can literally play every single generation of PlayStation games with just two consoles. That is a no-brainer. I never thought I would own one of these models because the prices are so high. But now that I have it, I can never go back. The convenience of using one DualShock 3 controller for two generations of games is amazing. Another huge reason I am loving this is the lack of instant gratification. I know that sounds weird. But a lot of the games I am playing now are slower paced. They force me to be more intentional with my gaming time. I find myself getting sucked into the environment much more. Modern games focus so much on a high reward system that constant dopamine hit. The older games just want you to enjoy the experience and take your time. One of the issues I have with the PS5 and PS4 era is the sheer volume of games available. If you have PlayStation Plus, you are getting free games every month. Your library is constantly growing, and it never ends. I often fall into what I call the Netflix trap. You have so many options that you get overwhelmed and end up not picking anything at all. You just keep looking for the next thing to hook you immediately. With my PS3 and PS2 games, I strictly use physical media. I have a small selection to choose from. When I pick a game, I do not feel like I am missing out on something else. Modern consoles are amazing because they load games in 10 seconds, but that can actually work against you. If a game does not hook you in the first 10 seconds, you just jump out and open something else. On the PS3 or PS2, it might take a minute or even 3 minutes to get into the game. That wait actually tricks your brain into enjoying the game more. You know the pain of having to reload a different game is too much effort, so you stick with what you are playing. It is delayed gratification, and it makes for a much more satisfied gaming experience. Finally, we have to mention the insane price increases for the PS5. There is news that the PS5 is going to be increasing in price yet again. They are blaming things like RAM shortages and supply chain issues. This makes it even more important to dive back into these older consoles. The idea of paying close to $1,000 for a PS5 Pro in 2026 is absolutely maddening. Like I said before, things are not getting any cheaper. It is getting harder and harder to live out here. The fact that a console could cost that much is just ridiculous to me. If you have an older console sitting in your closet now is the perfect time to fire it up and start enjoying those games again. This is not about throwing shade at modern gaming. There have been some incredible advancements like those super snappy load times and great online connectivity, but the PS3 generation still holds its own. It has a very special place in my heart. Between the backwards compatibility and the classic library, it is just a winner. Check this out for yourself and you will see what I mean. It really is a game changer for your hobby. The PS3 is still a beast in 2026.